Hello all. So in this session I am going to discuss about the working of a triangular wave generator using op-amp. So in triangular wave generator, this is the circuitry of the triangular wave generator, and it consists of a op-amp based square wave generator and an integrator made up of operational amplifier. Both this circuit, that is of the square wave generator and the integrator, is connected back to back through a resistor R3. Okay, and the working of the square wave generator is same as the normal square wave generator which we had discussed in the previous session. Okay, and to the output of the square wave generator we are connected an integrator circuit consisting of an op-amp, capacitor and an non-inverting terminal resistor which is grounded. Okay, and the output of the integrator will be triangular wave. So at the output of the square wave generator we will get square pulses, or the output of the square wave generator will switch between two values, positive V saturation and negative V saturation. Okay, now what will happen what we will get at the output of the integrator during positive V saturation and negative V saturation levels of square wave output. Okay, so here an integrator will simply integrate the input available to it, and the integrated value will be obtained as the output over here. So this is the basic thing, because when we integrate a square wave we will obtain a triangular wave. Okay, this is the basic working of an integrator. Okay. So here let us see how we will get these signals in this negative ramps, positive ramps, how we will obtain in this output. Let us see how it is. So here, during the first case, when the output of the first op-amp is positive V saturation, what will be the current over here? The current will be positive V sat divided by R3. This positive current will lead the capacitor to produce a negative output over here. Negative output, or a negative ramp will be produced in the output. Okay, or we can explain this in another manner, that is, due to the positive current over here, and as this capacitor is connected to the negative terminal of this, what will happen here? A discharge of the capacitor will be taking place. Discharge of the capacitor is taking place, that is, here you can see the capacitor voltage or the output voltage is decreasing over here. Okay, now similarly during next case, that is when the output of the first operational amplifier is negative V saturation, the current over here will be minus V sat divided by R3, and this negative current will drive this op-amp so as to produce a rising ramp or positive ramp signal. Okay, and this signal will be like this. Okay, during negative V saturation we will obtain the output of the integrator as a rising ramp signal like this. Okay, this is due to the charging of the capacitor, because negative is connected to this one, so the negative current over here will cause the charging of the capacitor, or the output signal will be a rising ramp signal. Okay, so this is happening. This is what the output we get during negative V saturation. Okay, similarly during the next stable state is positive V saturation. During positive V saturation we will get negative ramp signal, and this continues. As a result we will get a triangular wave signal. So what the specialty of a triangular wave signal? During this triangular wave signal, by observing itself we can understand that the time period of the triangular wave signal as well as the time period of the input square wave is same. That is, frequency of this triangular wave as well as the square wave input is same. Okay, or the rising time is same as the duration of negative Vsat, or the falling time is same as the duration of the positive Vsat. Okay, so this is the speciality of the triangular wave generator. Now, during practical cases, there is a small difference to the circuit. That is, we will be having a resistor over here. Across this capacitor, we will be having another resistor, which is R4. Okay, this is to reduce the saturation problems. In order to reduce the saturation problems, we are connecting a resistor over here. Okay. Now, in the triangular wave generator, in order to get a stable triangular wave output, there is a condition that is to be satisfied, which is given by 5R3, 5 times R3C2 should be greater than T by 2, where T is the time period of the output triangular wave. Okay. So 5 times this R3 it is this connecting resistance R3 and R3C2, this is C2. So 5 times R3C2 should be greater than T by 2. Okay, so this condition should be satisfied, then only we will get a stable triangular wave output. Okay, now in the circuitry, as you can see in the practical triangular wave generator, you can see here minimum number of resistors required is 5 and minimum number of capacitor required is 2. Okay, minimum 5 or 6 resistors is required and minimum 2 capacitors is required and 2 operational amplifier. Okay, so therefore it has a more number of components, therefore it is not economical. Also the efficiency and losses are more in these resistances, as well as in the total circuitry it is not economical. So that is why we are moving on to a triangular wave generator with lesser number of components. So the circuitry of which is shown here. Here you can see a Schmitt trigger circuit here, Schmitt trigger circuit, and this is the positive feedback of the Schmitt trigger, which consists of the feedback resistors R2 and R3. Okay, and this Schmitt trigger is connected to another circuit or another comparator circuit, which has R1 resistors and C1 capacitance. Okay, this is actually an integrator circuit. So as a result, we will get triangular wave in the output. So the output of this Schmitt trigger is connected to an integrator circuit, and the output of the Schmitt trigger will be a square wave, and this square wave, when integrated, we will obtain triangular wave pulses, triangular wave. Okay, and the output of this integrator is again connected to the R2 resistance or to the feedback resistance of the first op amp. Okay, so here what is the difference with the other circuits? Here in this circuit you can see the feedback resistance R2 is grounded here, and there is no feedback over here. Okay, but here you can see the output is feedback to first op amp's non-inverting terminal like this, so that this point P becomes a common point. Okay, or this feedback circuitry has one point connected to output of first op amp and the other point connected to output of the second op amp. Okay, so actually these two op amps are here working as a interrelated manner. Okay, so here what will happen during positive V saturation of the square wave input or square wave output of first op amp? During positive V saturation, as I have explained before, we will obtain a negative ramp signal. Okay, during positive V saturation, the current over here is positive V saturation by R1. As a result, we'll obtain a negative ramp signal over here, negative ramp signal, and this negative ramp signal or this negative output is fed to the feedback of the first op amp. So this point will turn negative. So when this increased or when this negative output reaches a low threshold value, that is this value, low threshold means negative V ramp. When this reaches low threshold value, what will happen? This will when this non-inverting terminal input becomes less than inverting terminal input, the output of which will go into negative V saturation. So you can see when the output reaches, that is the output over here reaches negative V ramp, the square wave input shift to negative V saturation. Okay, so during negative V saturation, the current over here is negative V saturation divided by R1. As a result, we will get negative ramp signal over here. As a result, we will get a rising ramp signal over here. This is it. And this rising ramp signal or the positive output. This positive output is fed back to this point. As a result, here we will get more positive. So when this input over here becomes high threshold value or positive V ramp, what will happen? This non-inverting terminal input, when it becomes greater than inverting terminal input, we will get output as, or the output will get shifted back to positive V saturation. Okay, as you can see over here. Then this process repeat. As a result, we will obtain the ramp signal. Okay, so this is the operation of triangular wave generator. Now let us move on to some design equations. Here the output voltage, that is ramp signal, or triangular wave peak to peak value is 2 into R2 by R3 Vsat. R2 is this resistance and R3 is this resistance. 2 into R2 by R3 Vsat. It is the output voltage value, peak to peak value, and the time period is given by 2 into R1 C1 into voltage, output voltage divided by V saturation. Here R1 and C1 are, R1 is this one and C1 is the capacitance connected to the output, and to this V naught we will substitute this value, equation 1, into this. So we will obtain the time period as 4 R1 C1 R2 by R3. Similarly, frequency is the opposite of time period. Okay, so we will get R3 by 4, R3 upon 4 R1 C1 R2 as frequency. Okay, so next let's move on to ramp signal generator or sawtooth signal generator. So this ramp signal or sawtooth signal is the generation is similar to triangular wave generator, and the only difference is that in the ramp signal, the rising time period and falling time period of the output signal will not be equal. Okay, in triangular wave, both the rising time as well as the falling time was equal. Okay, that is why it has become, or it is known as triangular wave. But in ramp signal or sawtooth signal, either the rising time or the falling time will be higher. Okay, so for that we have a Schmitt trigger circuit similar to the triangular wave generator. Okay, and the output of this we will obtain a square wave. Okay, and it is connected to an integrator circuit, and in the integrator circuit, to the non-inverting terminal of the integrator, we have connected a variable resistance or a potentiometer, and that both end of the potentiometer is connected to positive VCC or negative and to a negative VCC. Okay, or the potential of both ends of this potentiometer is maintained at two values, two opposite value, one positive and one negative voltage values. Okay, side we will obtain the output input to this terminal as positive VCC or positive signal, and similarly if we slide this to this side or this direction, we will get the input to this terminal as negative VEE or close to negative in VEE, or a negative input will be fed to this non-inverting terminal. Okay, so here this variable time period of the rising of the ramp signal, that is during the rising time as well as falling time of the ramp signal, is controlled by the location or the value of the potentiometer maintained here. Okay, so if the value of this potentiometer R4 is less or negative, then rising time will be higher. Okay, similarly if the value of the R4 is positive, then rising time will be lower. Okay, so this is the condition over here, and other all cases is similar as triangular wave generator, that is during the positive V saturation of the square wave we will obtain negative ramp signal. Similarly during negative V saturation we will obtain a rising ramp signal. Okay, and the output of this integrator is fed back to the feedback circuitry of first op amp, and when this becomes equal to the low threshold value or high threshold value, the output of which shift from the stable state. Okay, it is similar as the triangular wave operation. The only difference is that here the non-inverting terminal input is varied, and depending upon the value of the input available here, the rising time or falling time is decided. Okay, when it is negative, the rising time will be higher. When it is positive, falling time will be higher. Okay, so this is the Rambo sawtooth signal generator. Thank you.